what was it like raising us from your perspective?
What are you looking at me for, Mom?
Oh, you know why I'm looking at you.
No, it could be of many reasons. Like, turn the cameras off.
Audio podcast from now on. Yeah.
No, just turn everything off.
So I guess how do you feel about that question? Like, you know, like if we went quiet, or like what was it like raising us as far as us being like troublemakers or anything like that? Like,
I can't believe how I'm going to answer this. If Eric was quiet, something was terribly wrong. If you were quiet, Kyle, you were having a febrile seizure.
Oh God. Yeah, I did have those. Yeah.
That's just Eric would he would try to get away with whatever he could. Do you remember hiding behind the curtains trying to swear?
Of course not, Mother.
No.
Shit.
And all I saw, I just heard it and I thought, where did he go? And all I could see was his little feet sticking out. And I pulled that curtain back and he looked up at me and he goes, it wasn't me.
I was the first Shaggy.
It wasn't me.
And actually, if Kyle was quiet, you were probably doing a puzzle. Mm-hmm. Or laying on the dog reading him books.
I'm so white.
Fucking nerd.
He was. Listen, if anybody remembers, the comedy routine when I said Kyle was every parent's wet dream.
Yeah.
I am not kidding. Okay, in all reality, Kyle was born in the perfect environment. Truly, though, your dad and I, we were a real family. We went to church. We had a real family dynamic, and it was the most normal setting. You were the only one of all of you, I think, that had a fighting chance.
Oh my God.
At really being Eric, I just
I'm
did
honored.
my best and hoped what I was doing was good, because I had no idea what I was doing with you.
Yeah, well, I'm fine. What is everybody so concerned about?
You're fine now.
Jesus Christ.
They weren't bad kids, but they both had their things. There was so much age difference between you two.
Next question.
They didn't fight. They had nothing to fight about. There was nothing to fight about.
Right.
Yeah.
That is something that I do think about, is that we really didn't fight over shit like that, where toys and things like that. Like I didn't care, because in all reality, I knew Kyle was like the careful kid. He could play with my video games. He could do these things. I trusted him because he took care of his shit. So there was kind of that aspect as well. But no, like, it's not the same as watching, my girlfriend's two boys that are, barely 3 years apart. Like, Jesus Christ, the one dude was literally about to pile drive the other one while he was playing Tony Hawk and had no idea he was coming up behind him. And I'm like, bro, you can't know. Like
there's a bro code. But
yeah, like, you can't do that. Like,
well, I think it's interesting because, I do remember, specific times that, every kid has them when it's like, like the setting fire to the carpet moment of, like, every kid has, like, it's interesting because really the main thing that sticks out to me is the whole idea, like when we would be at Grandma Dora's house, and if one of us misbehaved, we had to sit on the top of the steps.
Yeah, the steps.
And it was just like, and I think I remember there was a time that Scott was sitting on the top of the steps. He was in timeout. And mind you, I think maybe we were like five or six or something. And we were all talking and Scott went to say something. And I think that I went, Scott, you're in timeout. And Grandma was like, no, I'll allow it. What do you have to say? So like, it's just like we had the hammer dropped on us, I guess you could say, like, for big things. But all in all, like, our house was relatively normal. Like,
I got to watch R-rated movies and boobies, dude.
Yeah, right.
Like, what do you mean? I had HBO and Skinamax in my room before they knew that was a problem.
I didn't discover that until I was at Aunt Heidi's. So
there's the final piece of the puzzle for everybody that's been wondering.
What's he doing? Becoming a man?
Facts.
But it's just it's interesting because like there's I guess you could say like, you know, like I had a big stint of like when I was in school that I wasn't doing homework or whatever. I was grounded a lot, but I was also like, that was kind of my teenage years. And like me being grounded and stuff, like it wasn't the same as, you know, some guy like, or some kid going to a party and getting caught with alcohol. Like I never had any of those. I was a very boring kid. Like I came home and played guitar and like, you know, like then took up editing and all that stuff. Like I really didn't have time to, I guess you could say, misbehave, but I did have my moments, I guess, here and there.
I
but
always knew where you were. I had to hope I knew where that one was.
Jesus fucking Christ. Like where do you think, like, it's a small town.
That's what's so shocking, Eric.
Yeah, I was good at it.
Man, it's okay. So you said that you do have some specific things that you wanted to talk about. So what are some, I guess you could say, like almost like,
Where's my
I don't know, like maybe like megaton bomb moments where it was just like, okay, I cannot believe you just did this. And like now you have to process it like as a human being or whatever, like with some of the things that you've written down. Like I think the mud on the porch is probably one of them. But
dude,
yeah, that was.
Do you know when that happened? I could not believe it was happening because that was so out of character for you.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So when we lived on Sheldon and we had the little grape, you know, we had the porch. It was pouring, raining. And Shane Pasterchak and them lived two doors up. Your cousin.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have a feeling it was one of those moments. I'm blaming Shane for this one because I have a feeling it was one of those moments where I think you probably heard, hey, you know what would be fun? And I went out to check on you guys because that is the one time Kyle was quiet. I will say that. And there they were, soaking wet, bare feet, painting the front of the house with mud, just going at it, right? And I'm like, what are you doing?
And we thought it was cool. We were like, oh, we can't wait to show them.
Cool. Totally
And
cool.
it was bad, yeah.
And so I was like, no. And I think I went up and I got Robin,
Yes, you
Shane's
did.
mom, because she's like, what are they doing? And I brought you two up and you were covered. And I'm like, look at them. So we had you guys get sponges and a bucket and like, you know, to wipe it off.
In the rain?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh God, it's all coming back.
You're running. Okay. So yes, in the rain. Not as much rain, but
It got sunny at one
it
point.
did.
Yeah.
It did. So to make you guys learn a lesson, you had to clean it up. You had to clean it up.
In the fucking rain.
And you were enjoying it. You were like, oh my gosh, it's a nice. I came out and I said, this is not fun.
No, I remember exactly what happened, and what it was that they brought out this large ass bucket of water with suds on the top, and you, at this time, my perspective was Mom just came out with these sponges. She threw them into the bucket and went, get busy. And
I've heard that statement.
she goes inside. Robin is with Mom. And all I remember was we looked at the two sponges and one was red and one was blue. And I looked at Shane. I'm like, do you want the blue one? He's like, I kind of want the red one. I'm like, no, yeah, that's fine. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm using the blue one. And from inside of the house, we heard, stop it. You're not supposed to be having fun.
That's right.
Clean up your mess.
Epic fail.
Oh God, it was just
Epic fail
and then
everywhere.
I think you said years later that you guys were just inside, just cracking up.
We were. And you know, Eric, you did the same thing with Alan.
What?
When
really?
you both were about 4 years old, and you guys, Aunt Gigi had, I can't see. Aunt Gigi had her apartment down there at the underpass, pouring rain, and we were like, oh, you guys can, you know, play. Go ahead. You were already out there. You were already wet.
Right.
And when you came to the door, you guys were covered head to toe. You look like little black boys. I'm serious. And I'm serious. You smiled. Alan was kind of like, huh. And not you, man. Your teeth just white as can be. Right there. And we just put you both in the tub and went and smoked a cigarette. What else could we do? Yeah. So actually, because that happened, and I'm like, God, there's Eric. And then you did it. And I'm like, oh my God.
It's a boy thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's so, as far as like any other like big moments, like does anything else stand out to you as far as like, you know, like we got in trouble or we did something in the house or like we destroyed something? Cause like nothing really like comes to my mind that I don't remember.
I've got a slew of them. What are you talking about?
I was boring. Like I didn't do anything.
You pushed him down the stairs. Down the basement. Don't say
Hey, he has to do it again. In my defense.
Yeah, I think I did. I do remember that.
He pushed you down the stairs, and Randy yelled at me. Like, how the fuck is this my fault? I was folding laundry. What were you doing?
Because it was, I'm your kid.
Yeah.
Remember?
I've heard that before.
Oh my God.